Okay, so let's see. I think everyone should be able to hear me and see my screen, and I think I'm broadcasting live here. Let's see. I think everyone
Yes,
should be
I
able
got
to
it.
hear me. Okay, excellent. We're all set. All right. So sorry about that, everybody. And just if you can just type yes in the questions there that you can hear me fine, and everything's good. You can see my screen. Or I'm sorry, not in the questions, in the advanced webinar or in YouTube as well. Yeah. Okay. There you are. There you are, Alan. Okay, excellent. Um, all right. So yeah, let's get started, guys. So all right. Well, welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we do the live analysis, forward-looking analysis, not hindsight, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 10 a.m. And then the live trading with JTrader with stocks on Wednesday, and Thursday with Scott Pulcini trading futures. So let's go through the risk disclosures and jump right in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump into this S&P and see what's going on here. We can see the 930 cash open here. And we're kind of range bound in here. Move to the downside and then move back up to the upside. Lots of liquidity here. Just in, for looking at the kind of bigger picture here, up here at 42.50, a little bit below that, and then also around this 35 area here. They've been in the book since 9:30. Also, you can see some up here at 42.75. On the bid, down here at 41.50. All right, the majority of it down there, and they came in also at 9:30. Kind of looks like similar players, but anyway, we can't speculate on that. Yeah, seeing some icebergs, also lots of stops being triggered as well. Anyway, some back and forth in here with the stops and icebergs. Nice buying icebergs down in this area here, pretty significant. So we'll keep that in mind. And we'll look to see if we see more buyers starting to come in to lift this up into this 42.35 liquidity here. That is the primary scenario. That's what we're looking for just in this quick analysis here. We are trending up, and we're looking for this to continue. All right, but let's take a bigger step back here. Look at the bigger picture, the daily, the hourly, and then the 5-minute here, or 15-minute. Let's look at a 15-minute. All right, there we go. And we'll look at a little more bars in here for the look back on the hourly. All right, daily looks pretty good. I mean, we've been in a big range here. Lots of reject. We saw this a few weeks ago. Lots of rejection, and we saw the move up. You can see though that we're making lower highs and lower lows. So it made a slightly higher high. It completely rejected here though, as you can see on the daily. And since then we've been down in this range here all last week, and we're opening up the week here as well, smack dab in the middle here. Right. So we have FOMC on Wednesday. It's a big one. It's the quarterly with the dots, projections, and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what kind of order flow we have here, but not seeing much at the moment. Even this daily chart or candle you can see here, not much going on right at the moment. It's kind of slightly trending up, but wicks on both sides here. Looking at the hourly, also just kind of caught in the range here. You can see it kind of spiked below this swing low here on Friday, and we're right back up into the range here. Yeah, this is where a lot of sellers came in. See if we get a lot of buyers to try to break above that and try to reach back up into these highs up here. That would be one of the scenarios here. Yeah, looking for that. The swing is up here. We can kind of move these around a bit, I think. Some of our lines here that we served us well over the last few weeks. Okay, so just kind of looking at swings and ranges in here. That's about it. Just to get a feel for where traders are lined up on these higher time frames to deal. Okay. The 15-minute chart, well, this is pretty nice. You can see this is what we look for in the order flow as well. Look at the steep drop here. Look where the move came back up to. Okay, right where it dropped from here, or kind of the structure here. Looking to see if we can get maybe a bit higher up into this area here. So let's move this line down and somewhere around in here. It's going to be just kind of a range basically, and see if we can get back down in there. Yeah, other than that, back down here, like like we're looking at some of these lows here. Anyway, yeah, not seeing a whole lot here. Just going with the order flow here as there's a move to the upside a bit here. Yeah, a rollover, Alan. I'm on the M contract on the S&P. I looked at rollover earlier on the NQ, and the volumes hadn't quite rolled over yet, but you can see that the June contract here compared to the H the H still looks a little bit better to me, and it makes sense. The volumes haven't quite rolled. They may have rolled over by now. Anyway, that's something to look for. That brings up a really good point here, that this is a challenging time to trade due to rollover. A lot of traders kind of trade lightly or don't trade at all during this period, because the players are doing different things, and that's important to recognize. That it can be kind of a challenging time, and make sure that you have really clean and clear setups, what you're looking for, because a lot of times it doesn't make much sense. The order flow looks excellent in one direction, and it does not continue. You see a lot of range bound activity. Anyway, we'll keep that in mind here, and like we said, the overall kind of picture here is this move up into the higher liquidity up here at 30, and see if we can get up into 35 here. Okay, so that's basically what we see, and don't see too much else at the moment here. Yeah, sorry about that. Fox Trading started late here. I got kind of screwed up with the hours and some other work involved at the same time. So yeah, anyway, yeah, no excuse for it. Set my the phone and everything out, the computer, but my main clock I had not set back, and I thought I still had time. So anyway, all right. Anyway, it won't happen again. Let's see if we get a little bit of a push here. We still finding buyers here, so still looking for them to trade up to this 30 level here. Okay, we're getting some insight here. This player just came in, as you can see, which he's hedged, or he's kind of on both sides of it here. Okay, both sides of the market. See this player that came in here? It's the same player, and this is a stacker algo. Okay, I can demo this kind of algo behavior here, in fact, for you guys if you're interested, because we're not really seeing too much right now. Okay, and I'll show you exactly what these guys are doing here and why. Yeah, let me know if you want to see that. I'll set that up. Else, let's see if there's anyone else in here that wanted. Okay, GG, you want to take a look at that, guys? Some of these traders here are in our Discord chat room. If you want to join our Discord chat room, the chat is over there. I'm also keeping an eye on the chat here in YouTube. Okay, so all right, let me just demo this. I mean, like I said, we're not seeing too much right now, so it might be a good time to kind of explain this order flow phenomena and why it's important too, because Bookmap is visualizing this. It's like, what's going on in here? This player came in to the market. You can see when exactly, and it's got to be the same player. They're on both sides of the looking to get filled, and they're going to stay in the order book at a certain time here, and they're not going to trail or stay away by the, let's see, how many ticks is it? It looks like about 4 points or so. So you know, something like 16 ticks away, or something like that. And I'll show you why. Okay, and start to understand these markets very, very differently. Without Bookmap, this is what it looks like. You have no clue that that's happening here. Yeah, you can see it maybe in the order book here. Okay, we can even, our large lot tracker is showing that this is the same player. Let me show you. Look at how much liquidity is here. See that white line in there? Right there. Okay, this little white line here is showing one player holding roughly about, let's see here, it's 228 contracts in here, so he's holding somewhere around 200. That's probably about right. And also down here 235, and look how this is equal to that in the white line here. Okay, so you can see it in the dome here, but you don't know when he came in, and look at this other behavior starting to happen in here. And once this behavior goes away, you don't know what was there before. You have no clue. All right, so here we are through our 30 level. Okay, now be careful here. Let's turn our heat map back on. We're going to get a lot more information here. We're looking for that move into 30, and we're looking for 35. Okay, just be careful here though. There's 35. Nice strong move into 35, but like we said, this kind of environment right now, we want to be kind of careful here. Okay, let's see if we get a mean reversion right back down to about here, 24. Okay, or the first one would be down into here, 30, where we just broke out from. Okay, and this might be a failed breakout. Okay, typically this is actually the order flow is telling us quite clearly in a typical environment, not during rollover. This is a strong move. And it meets the criteria here, 2 criteria. Okay, one is strong volume. Look at the buy volume. Okay, they're moving it away from this previous value area. Secondly, look at the point move here, from 30 to 35. When usually what we see in the S&P is when we get a point movement with strong volume and a breakout like this, it continues. Okay, so usually around 2 to 3 points, it has to go beyond that. Now it can still break out with 2 to 3 points, but typically that is exactly when it can go right back into the range. When we get 3 to 5 points, especially like 4 to 5 points on a move in the S&P on strong volume, they are moving it away from a previous value area. That previous value area is right here. Okay, so we're looking for this to continue in a regular market. Okay, just be careful with this one right now due to rollover. And that's all. All right, so scenario 1 played out pretty nicely. That's what we're looking for here. And scenario 2 would be or scenario 1 now after this move here is the continuation up into 45. Okay, it's just that caveat, like I mentioned, that this is, we're still kind of rolling over here. All right, so keep that in mind. Yeah, George, I'll explain the algo now. Why I kind of pose the question here. If you really want to see that, it's going to take a little bit of time. And I talked to a few traders last week. Over the weekend, they wanted to look at some stocks. So we don't look at the S&P all the time. It's whatever you guys want to look at. A majority of players or people out there, what do you guys want to look at, and we'll cover. You want to look at Bitcoin, you want to look at a stock, I can plug it in. You want to look at a different futures market. I've got crude oil, I've got the RTY, I've got the NASDAQ, I got gold, I have Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, and Bitcoin here. Okay. All right, so let's check out this algo here. All right, and I'll show you where you can find this. This is part of you'll have to have Bookmap Global Plus for this, and you can trade these if you want. You have to sign a disclaimer and understand exactly what you're getting involved in. But we created 3 algos here: chase, escape, and execute. Okay, so I'm going to use chase and escape here. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to select it. Okay, I think I have to yeah, allow, that's fine. And I have to type in, okay, I need to write in here. Accept the risks. Okay, got it. Okay, and also escape. So again, this is with Global Plus version, and yeah, be very careful with these. I mean, you can get hurt, but they're pretty amazing. And yeah, I come across quite a few traders that use this here. All right, so let's go over Chase. Okay, what happens here with Chase? Well, it's very simple. Keep my limit order, and it works on limit orders. Keep it at a distance of no larger than 3. Okay, well, we're going to make it 16, right? We thought it was somewhere around 16. 4 points. All right, so that's that one. And now we're going to go to escape. And if my limit order is within 16 price levels, of the best price, and the total size of 3 price levels. Okay, and I want to price levels at my order side is less than 60%. Okay. Okay, I believe I go with 1 here. Hold on. And I need to really boost this one up here. So, because I don't want to get filled right now. I'm actually trying to not get filled. I want to demo this here. All right, so let's see here. Let's see how this works. All right, so open up the one-click trading, turn it on, do one lot here, and I'm going to do 1 limit buy here. Okay, and oh, I need to activate them. Hold on. Okay, enable and enable. Okay, there we go. So there it is. See how it's chasing there. So here's our order here, our limit order, and see how it is kind of mimicking the same behavior here. Okay, it looks like we can go maybe a couple of ticks higher, and we'll mimic this guy here. So let's go here, and not 16. We'll go with 14. Is it 14? No, maybe it's like 12. And here we'll go with 12. Something like that, right? Okay, and I'm going to put a limit order up here also on the offer. All right, so this is the purple line. That's our limit sell order, and the beige here is our limit buy. See how it's mimicking exactly the behavior here of this other algo in the heat map? Okay, even more so. We're kind of all over the place in here. All right, so there you go. So this is a way to kind of keep your queue, your position in queue. And then when you want to trade, basically what you'll do is you're just going to turn these algos off. And you're going to stay in the order book. And then that's it. These orders are not filled. They're not filled at all. They're in the order book. Okay, so and there's conditions on it, and conditions are here. If price comes at a distance of 12 ticks away, then move it away. Or I'm sorry, chase by 12. But now, so if price goes up, this is like a kind of like a acting like a trailing stop, but it's a trailing buy basically, or a trailing sell. Okay, so that's what it's doing, is chasing after price. But we're using another, that in combination, we're using two algos here. We're using another algo here, and this one is called escape. So if a condition is met where with 12 ticks away, okay, then move my escape away from this area here. If there's an imbalance, it's an imbalance in the order book here. And I boosted the percentage here, so I will not get filled. I will likely not get filled. Okay, it was just boosted even higher here. We might get some crazy imbalance and stay in the book and get filled. So that's the way it works here. So it's keeping itself away from the market by 12 ticks, escaping away and then chasing back, escaping away and then chasing back, both sides here on the bid and on the offer. What's the purpose? The purpose is like when a certain condition is met, and that's with the escape here. There's also one more that you can use in tandem with it, and that is the execute. Okay, so when a certain condition is met, then execute. Okay, don't escape, don't chase, execute. Okay, so you're looking for some sort of order book imbalance here. Yes, they do get filled. Absolutely. They're not in here just to play around. Now, what's the advantage here? Well, they're already in the queue. Okay, so they're already like the early bird gets the worm here. They're already in the order book. Now, as soon as like and you know, you'll see stacker algos, they'll be like 5 deep on here. And they will chase, or there will be 5 orders in here on the bid layered and on the offer. And then at a certain point, they'll just say like, okay, my condition is met. I've looked for this order book imbalance and I want to trade. And then they turn that, it will not chase and escape any longer. It will execute. Okay, yeah, you want to see it execute here? Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, basically, there's a few different ways to do it. You can execute directly, or you can just turn them off, and at a certain point, they're going to just stay here. Okay, and you're basically saying, let's say on the bid here, basically you'll be saying, you know, to the market here, like, yeah, I found my imbalance. I don't want to chase or escape any longer, but this is where I want to deal at this price level. Okay. So that's how it works. Well, that's one way to have it work. All right, and you'll keep your position here in the queue. All right. All right. So anyway, see how it just beautifully matches it here. Just trying to show you like what these markets are like out there, and what's going on in these markets, you know, this is a part of who we're competing with. So when you put a limit order in and you don't understand why, you know, everyone got filled in front of you, this is exactly why. There's other players that have algos running that are always in front of the queue, you know, trying to stay in the front of the queue. Okay, and this is going to allow them to do that at a much better rate than us. Yeah, you know, you guys can use this too. Let me show you where you can find more about it if you're interested. Go to help, and then we're going to go to the Bookmap. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the portal here, okay, or just our YouTube channel, basically. I want to show you that. Yeah, let's just, you know, in here you can go to education and click on this playlist, features and components. And let's just open it up over here. So you'll scroll down here and you'll see the videos. There's a couple of videos for it. Trading strategies right here. Okay, so go watch these 8 and 9. Okay, videos 8 and 9. I'll show you where you can find it again. Go to our YouTube channel here. Scroll down, features and components here. Click on the playlist title. And then videos 8 and 9 down here, automatic trading strategies overview and activating Bookmap's trading strategies here. Okay. All right. Yeah, James, it's pretty cool, Algo. Really, look what this is exactly what's happening. How can you tell? How can you say any different? And this happens a lot during rollover. This kind of activity, or in hedge markets. So let's just take a quick look at SPY, for example. SPY is like this almost all the time, and different instruments are used in different ways. Here, I'll just move SPY over here. We'll wait for a little data in here as well. So give it a minute. Yeah, and this is, basically this is the environment we came from. We were developing algos for ourselves, and then basically to visualize our algo HFT, high frequency algos, how we were visualizing the performance, we needed a tool, and Bookmap was that tool originally, a very rudimentary version of Bookmap. Okay, so over time, we showed it to other traders, and they said, "Wow, that's really interesting. If you made that a platform, we would use it." So we developed it. So you can see here SPY. You can see that behavior as well. Okay, here it is, and it's like this all the time in SPY. I don't know if Doug's in here. Doug and others are using SPY and the QQQs in tandem with their trading of the S&P and NASDAQ futures. It's a great tool. Like, for example, look at this high liquidity here in SPY. Okay, although we know that they're kind of on the bid and the offer here, following price action here, and it's like that every day. We also know high liquidity here. This is a distinction, big distinction. Okay, here they got filled. They wanted to get filled. They got filled. All right, that is telling you something. Look at this player here, high liquidity. This is very different, right? It's a break from this kind of behavior. So that's where you can get some insight on this using SPY. All right. Yeah, good stuff. Doug's an expert at it. I don't know, Doug, if you're in here, but you guys can reach out to Doug on Discord as well. And I can also show you where Doug did a video on it. Let me show you that quickly. Okay, on our YouTube page. Okay, just scroll down here, go to Pro Trader webinars. Guys, all last week we had our Pro Trader webinar series. It's here. Click on the link here, and you'll see we had some great traders, great lineup here. Moby, and then Scott Pulsini, J Trader, Tyler with options, an options trader, and how he looks at Bookmap and uses Bookmap, and then of course Brent Kachuba at Spot Gamma with his look and take on their products on options. Scroll down a little bit more here. Doug Pless is right here, this video. You can click on that and watch this here. Yeah, it's excellent stuff. So he's got a unique way of using some of those gamma features and looking for advantages in the order flow. Okay. All right, let's jump back here and see what happened to our algo here. Oh yeah, okay, it's off just because. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Anyway, you can see we haven't made a decision along with this player. He has not made a decision either. I'm going to cancel this. All right, both of them or all of them here, and we'll we can discuss this maybe another time if you're interested. Okay, interesting stuff though. That's for sure. All right, let's get back into the price action. Let me go through the questions here. If anyone has any questions. No, those are the Alan. Those two videos will cover it. Okay, you can go through that. You can play around with it also in replay mode in Bookmap. There's some videos in there on replay mode too if you guys have any questions. Okay, these are tools that we haven't covered in a long time, so I just wanted to we saw that come into the book, and we're not seeing a whole lot of price action here, so I thought I'd cover it. All right, well, here's what we were kind of looking for. It was a strong move, right? But we kind of knew that, and we're looking for scenario one is continuation up into high liquidity up at 45 here. And we're still, like, you can see the bears are starting to come in, and we're looking at our areas here, and maybe we'll get a break of the zones in here, but strong volume, or consolidation in here, and then the same up here, even a lot more volume, and buyers and sellers are buyers over here, sellers over here. So we've got a battle kind of going on here. Let's see if these sellers can try to drop it lower. Okay, question to you guys: where would we look for if sellers can break the range here? Where is the first stop? Where are they going to go? What price level do you think, and why? Okay, so it's a mean reversion tactic here that we're talking about. What do you guys think? $42.40. Okay. No, the mean reversion play, which is starting to play out. Looks like they're going to go for it here. Okay. 42.20. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because of the liquidity down here. But typically, the first move of breaking this range in here is the point of control of this previous area here. And what I mean by point of control is just the most traded price level. Most traded price level constitutes value, and that level is like either here or here. So it's they're kind of equal here, so it could go to either. Maybe around this 25 level, which we're already at, and then the next level would be here, 2022. Now I like the answers in here. 42.20 because of the resting orders. It's the other side of the range though down here. The first one is, since we're still bullish in here, this is kind of the last gasp for those buyers, and that is here, up at this point of control. If we see buying support here, which we don't right now, okay, we don't see it. So likely scenario is still like you guys are pointing to, I think 42.20. Because I don't see buyers lined up here to support this. Okay, but the mean reversion trade is very simple. Here we're outside of the range, and then to trade it back into, okay, responsive selling, this is auction market theory part, back to an area where it previously transacted a lot. Okay, very, very simple idea. Just that this is kind of value. You can use this for anything. If it's you're hawking automobiles or motorcycles on the internet or something, and you see that price is very, very low for something, well, yeah, you scoop it up, and then you try to sell it back to where you think it has value, where you look it up in the, I don't know, Kelly Blue Book or something, and you say, wow, the value is this, or you look up previous sales, recent sales of that car, and that would be its value, and you'd buy it, scoop it up at a discount, and try to sell it back at value. Same idea here. Okay, and here's a value area up here where it broke down from. And we can even look at that. There's trade setups here to take a look at. This is the most traded kind of level up here, looking at our profiles. Okay, around this 33.5 area up here. Okay, see how we're starting to get a bounce off of 25. Okay, so where would we be looking for this to go? Probably just back up to here to begin with. Let's just mark it up. Not horizontal line. Just up to the bottom of the range here first. Okay, tap the bottom of the range here. Okay, could even come up to the bottom of this range up here. Okay, so somewhere between 29 and 31, somewhere around in there. Okay, so we are starting to find some buyers here. Now, these buyers down in here, they weren't in the order book. Okay, there was nothing really here in the order book. Okay, we're just going off of transactions that took place at that price level here. As you guys pointed out, the liquidity is down here, okay, 42.20. VWAP, yeah, that's something to take a look at here as well. It could go back to a VWAP trade here. Okay, now we're below VWAP and now coming up trading into it. And for you VWAP guys, like you'd be looking to see, is this going to hold or break again? Okay, so it went through. Usually you look for it to go through, come back, tap it, and then go back down again. Okay, in this environment, we might see it kind of break back up above. It might even just kind of bounce around in VWAP here for a while. Okay, so and why would we consider that? Not just because it's rollover period, but also because look at this. Look at the volume here. This is not on strong volume on to the downside. This is strong volume on the upside here. We saw the breakout from 30 on up to 35, or the move to 30 and then 35. Pretty good buy volume in there. So Bowie, let's see, your VWAP resetting is 10:30 instead of 9:30. Yes, I'll reach out. Yeah, they need to kind of switch that around with the daylight savings time. It's kind of tricky because like it's just the US has traded or changed. Others have not. We need to base that. It should be based on your computer clock. Let me take a look here. Yeah, see, mine's at 10:30 here. So let me go back to VWAP here and go to VWAP settings. Sorry, it's in here. Okay. Session start 9:30. Yeah, and it's at 10:30 instead. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Bowie. I'll definitely forward that to the team. So yeah, you'll need to play around with it and keep an eye on it. So move it back to 8:30. Or whatever it works here. If I've got it all kind of screwy here. Let's go to 8:30, right? Apply. Session start. Yeah. So I think it did it. Hard to see. Sometimes it's kind of spot on anyway, so you don't really see much of a reset. Yeah, Bowie, with your suggestion there, that's a possibility. Adding 2 VWAPs, yeah, or the VWAP is based on the volume that we have here in Bookmap. So right off the bat, you know it's not quite correct unless you had your Bookmap open up from the start of the day, of the very start of the total session. Okay, then you would see it correctly. Let's see, big players trade VWAP. Yeah. So yeah, they do. But there's all sorts of I like VWAP because it's one number that everyone's looking at instead of moving averages of like, is it the 50 on the daily, is it the 50 on the whatever, on the 5 minute, who's looking at what. VWAP is pretty straightforward. Yeah, so you can see my VWAP's down here now at around 42.15. That too is mean reversion here, right? So then you're looking at this and that's the one you're following. Like, looks like this 42.20. You guys are, we're looking for a move to the other side of the range now. Okay, we're breaking down through this point of control, which we talked about. This is the last gasp, and look at the volume here. I like it. So we're looking for continuation to 20. We're already at 20, but I'm still looking for further here. Let's see if they can get down to bottom of the range, the swing. Okay, and also your VWAP there, Bowie. So this is a nice little area right here, right where VWAP is, in fact. Okay, there's a swing here, and this is where it broke out from, here to the upside, and all of this consolidations within this area. Look at the volume here. See how they're moving it away again from that area. Okay, this point of control area here. That's what we're looking for, and we want to see that. So I like that idea. Back down to 42.15 here. Emerson, I mean, I see a chopper on VWAP all the time. Fill in areas here like you know, low volume nodes in here get filled in, they auction in, etc. Yeah, I mean, it's no one has made a decision off of VWAP. Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be great if it was all day long and just like, you know, trade VWAP and make it easy like that. A lot of times you'll see VWAP and point of control at the same area, and it just chops around all day within that area. Okay, it makes sense because that's where value is. That's the market seems to be pretty content with that price level. All right, guys, let's see. We got leg 1 here on this move down away from our point of control, looking for leg 2 now. Okay, that is the primary scenario here, looking for the break here, and sellers to hit it back down into somewhere around here. I don't see much liquidity down here. It's more down here around 10. Okay, so primary scenario, some buyers starting to come in at the moment. I also like, this is where we kind of just broke down from. So, and that was our 20 level, and that liquidity, I'm sorry, it's 21 or 22 up here. Okay, so looking for a potential pullback to here, okay, right here. Okay, but still looking for continuation to the downside. Okay, the selling's nice in here. It's pretty strong. Okay, so still going with primary scenario. That's to the downside here. Here's our pullback right now. Okay, now in this area here, we're going to look for, see this buying coming in here? Okay, and even a bit more coming in here. Okay, we're looking for sellers to break it down below this little level right here. Okay, we're looking for big sellers right here, right now, and we're looking for them to come in and sweep the order book down to VWAP here. Okay, this would be trap volume in here, and we'll likely see a nice stop run to the downside. Okay, so we have a strong move, pull back, and we're looking for leg 2, strong move. Okay, starting to play out. Let's see it, sellers. You got to come in with a lot of selling in here. That's not enough. That is not enough right there. It's all it's done is come back down to the bottom of the range here. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we get more sellers here. We did not get, we got very few sellers here. We're looking for big red dot here and to drive price into like 15 down here. Buyers are still fighting it. They're still fighting it. Okay, don't see the setup yet. All right, guys, I'll get to your questions here in a minute. Just not really seeing too much. We're looking for it. We're just not getting it. Okay, our primary scenario here. We're down below this little area here, but I just don't see the selling in here to justify it. All right, here, let's see if we get it here. Okay, looking for them. Here we go. Come on, sellers. Let's see it. Okay, now this is not a trade recommendation, but this is a setup here. Okay, we'd be looking for sellers in here, go with the order flow, and they should be able to move it back down to the bottom of the range here. You can see it has not set up yet. Okay, this might do the trick now. We get some buyers here. Now let's see our sellers come in. There they go. Yeah, this is the setup. I wouldn't, personally, I don't really like it here. I'm still looking for it to do that, but I don't like it. I would avoid it. I don't see the selling in here that I like. This is not convincing here. I'm looking for sellers to be convinced to move it away from this area here. And that scenario is not unfolding. Okay, in fact, you can see the buying coming in. They're really fighting it here. Right, so staying away from an order flow is telling us something here. We're looking for this to unfold, and it just hasn't. Okay, here we go again. Now sellers should be able to pick this up here and drop it into 15. Okay, they've got these guys on the ropes here, and we should see a stop run if they can get down here. Okay, this looks better. It looks much better. All right, sellers, here we go. On this rotation, we should see them come in, and they should be able to drop it into this kind of 15 area here. Again, I don't like it. I mean, it's just not convincing here. It's likely to happen. I'd shy away from this. The setup is not clean. Okay, the order flow in here is not clean. All right, so still may do it. That's the primary scenario here. It just doesn't look at high probability here. Okay, the order flow is telling us that. This looks better. Okay, every time it comes down, and you can see it's eroding our risk reward here as well. So it's like, wow, okay, so now I only want to get like 2 points out of this. No, it's not even worth it. Okay, just look for something better. All right, so I know we all want to trade in here, and we have we want to hit the button here, and we're still sticking with that primary scenario here, but I just don't like it. Don't like the read in here. So that's that. The order flow is also kind of strange in here. Like this is good when you see like some liquidity here on the offer, kind of pressing, right? Kind of trying to push it away. Here they are again. Now we're getting the selling we want, but look where we are. At 16, we're looking for the move to 15. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so the order book didn't tell us too much. A little bit in here, a little bit in here helped. The volume really never helped us too much. This didn't look so convincing. This looked much better, and then it just got wishy-washy in here yet again, and then finally it looks good down here, and like we're already there though. So anyway, yeah, so staying away from trades is and kind of saving your ammo for something cleaner and better here. Okay, so here finally we're getting the move to VWAP here. So there you go, Bowie. Okay, there's another high volume node down here to take a look at. Now we're going to line that up though with what's going on over here. Okay, look at the strong buying that came in here. Now this is kind of middle of the range. This is why when we started this webinar, God, I don't know when we started this. It was somewhere around in here, I believe, and we were looking for 30 and then 35. But you can see how this buy volume came in here, and charged right up to the swing, okay, and then it broke out on strong volume. Okay, so this is kind of where it started down here, and that's why we can see liquidity down here at 10. So let's see if these sellers can continue trade through VWAP here, okay, on strong volume back down to 10. Okay, makes sense. And that would be also, back down into this high volume area down in here. Okay, selling looks good, right? And then here we got our buyers coming in. Selling looks good in here, but yeah, these sellers can get upended too. And this is when we start to look at the ranges in here and understand the order flow at these at the range. This is part 2 of our educational course. Okay, part 1 talks about market mechanics, and part 2 talks about market structure. It's all the same, really. It's just market mechanics transforms into bigger structure. And that bigger structure might be, a couple of minutes. It could be a couple months. It could be on a monthly chart. It is the same ideas. Let's jump back to our higher time frames here and take a look. Okay, we had drawn our line up here in the 15-minute. You can even see some of the structure in here. This is not a bad place to bounce around right around here at 22, 23. And then 10 was, I'm sorry, why is this wrong? 20, oh, because this is yeah, okay, I'm on the wrong contract here. All right, I'll have to update that. All right, well, here we got our bounce off of VWAP, okay, and look at sellers come right back in. Slightly broke the structure here, this swing here. Boy, we're just not seeing much today, guys. So that's that. Yeah, Justin, I mean, the ES has rolled over. The volume has rolled over. It's like we kind of started off. These times during rollover are tricky. A lot of traders will not trade rollover. Sometimes the order flow looks just beautiful and it doesn't work out. And there's higher probability of it not working out during rollover period. Put it that way. Even this move to the downside, like we were looking for it, but boy, it just wasn't convincing in our areas. It just eroded our reward to risk ratio here. All right, let's see here. More questions. Sorry, guys. I've been trying to read 2 chats here. POC, I don't have it on the chart right now. I can add it here from the SVP column. Go to config, show POC, and it's this line up here at 25. Okay, so yeah, that is the POC here. All right, and let's go back to our Discord chat and see what's going on here. Oh God, a new COVID variant announced? Really? Alan, someone paid $500,000 for Tom Brady's last touchdown ball. Yeah, yeah, that is missing out on an auction. Well, that's yeah. I wonder if Brady could. I wonder if he'll be a gentleman on that one. He's pretty good about that kind of stuff. Tom, let's see. How do you reset to specific time? So yeah, I need to the reset. I mean, yeah, you can go in here under settings, and you can go to time zones here, okay, and you can configure it here to whatever time zone you want. Right, so yeah, you just kind of you know, go through here and pick which one you want. By default, it's by your computer clock. Okay, so it should match up. Okay, guys, nice move through point of control here. Oh, I mean, sorry, VWAP. Okay, looks pretty decisive to me. You know, some pretty heavy selling here. It's a stop run though, so even this in here, like, it's decisive. Okay, but look at the point move in here, 14 down to 12. That's 2 points, and it's a stop run. Okay, primary scenario is looking for 10. Still looking for 10. We talked about it. This is what we're looking for. However, I just don't like it. Like, this is not high probability. You can get buyers right back up above 14 here, and this is kind of like, in essence, this is like kind of empty volume in essence. Why? Because a lot of them are stops in here. It's not new selling coming in, moving the market. Now they are starting to. Okay, and there's 10. Our 10 is just transacting there. Some stop runs there too. Okay, but if we can get buyers back up above 14, then look out. You know, they should be able to bring it right back into, well, high volume nodes. 16, other side of ranges, hit stops on the other sides, etc. Okay, back to point of control up here at 25. Let's see here. So yeah, your resets, Tom, in here, like, well, I can point you to the videos, but like, if you go to configure, and you know, yeah, there's no resets in here. You right click though, and you go to reset here. There's many different kinds of resets in here. You can reset now, you can clear your resets, you can double click and have it reset, or even single click and have it reset in here. Or there's these resets here. If you go to reset configuration, you can schedule different resets in here at specific times. Okay, so right now, yeah, you can set it at session start at 8:30, for example, and hit apply, and it should reset all the volumes from then. Okay, you can, if you click this here, you can do session start. You can do it a reset at every 5 minutes or at a specific time. Conditional reset is an interesting one. It was requested. So what we offered here on the conditional reset was looking for price to go below a price level for more than 2.5 seconds or 2500 milliseconds. And if it did, then reset. If it doesn't, then, and it comes back in the range, do not reset. And that's what the conditional reset is here. How to get point of control again? Yeah, you have to open up a column that right click in the columns here. You'll have to go with a volume column, trades counter, or quotes counter type. Okay, once you've selected one of those, click in again and then change it to the volume or trades counter, quotes counter to session accumulated. Okay, then you'll have to right click one more time in here and then go to configure. And then you're going to see the button here, or the checkbox, show POC. Okay. Let's see. I'm so bad regarding the bracketed algo. Is there any information we can draw from when someone turns it on all of a sudden? Yeah, you'll see them. You'll see them stay in the book here, right here. Here's well, this maybe not an example. Maybe in here, I mean, you can see, like, yeah, it could be these guys staying in the book in here, okay? And then they're staying in here, and then they're transacting. Okay, so right in here, it's kind of hard to say. This player is kind of staying in and out here, and then does get filled kind of at the same area. Okay, So this guy here also, it looks like he just kind of stayed through it, but you'll see it. Anyway, it gets to the point here, I think, that look for these areas of high liquidity in here that stay in the order book. Okay, that's going to and transact. That's going to, if something tells you the most from the heat map, that is going to tell you the most. Okay, is the transactions of that liquidity. Okay, because now that's they got filled. So that's good information. Okay, very high liquidity getting filled in there. That's excellent information. Okay, all these other games of like pulling, adding, etc. Yes, it helps us. We read the order flow in here. The way that we use that is to see like what is the reaction to high liquidity. Okay, so we'll see if someone comes in the order book here and skews it. Like here, this guy. See, this guy's not that algo. See this guy right here? What's the reaction to it? Well, we found a few buyers, but they didn't really repel the sellers here. The sellers are back in. So we're not getting much information out of this market right now. Okay, we want to see if who's attracted to that liquidity here. They're saying, I want to be a buyer. Okay, now sellers actually took them on. Okay, so sellers are now, we got a little more information now that sellers took them on, and they're still selling. Okay, so now that kind of opens the door for, okay, what are we looking for? All right, 4,200. The figure down here, this liquidity down here. Okay, just by order flow in here, just by order flow. Okay, we want to look at the higher time frames though, and start to understand what's going on. Okay, well, 4,200. This makes sense down here. See them in the order book. Okay, they were in here previously. They're in here again now. It's the figure as well. Okay, we were looking to see if we got a bounce maybe around this 4210, because that's where these buyers came in here, as you can see. You can see that is certainly not it, right? They're going for 4,200. Yeah, and as we said that, here comes another move to the downside here. The factors looking for high probability is like well, I thought the highest part, there's our move into 4,200, guys, and on pretty strong volume. So still looking to see them kind of try to dip further below. This was higher probability in my, by reading the order flow in here. Okay, this move on up to, I think, 30 and 35. Okay, I'll clean the chart here so we can take a look here. All right, but we saw that first off, we had our higher time frame analysis, and we saw what that we're in this big range in here, and high liquidity up at these areas here, and we found buyers interested in here. Look at them interested in here, starting to come in. Okay, so around this point in here, it's like, yeah, there's buy volume up here at this little swing at 27. Where's the liquidity? It's 30. What's the reaction after that traded here? Wow, more buyers coming in. 30. We're looking for 35. Okay, sticking with that primary scenario, after this, we're looking for potentially 45 now as well. It's a pretty strong move. We talked about it. We talked about the point move and the size of the volume. Okay, we know they're moving it away from these areas. It's how the market works. Okay, now we also talked about like it being other conditions here about rollover, as well as FOMC on Wednesday, and be careful for this. Even a move up into 30 here, be careful. Look for a retest back down here and a move back down to the other side of the range. Okay, open to that scenario. And once we saw these buyers come back in, they're going to go for this liquidity here at 35. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so we're really kind of reading the reaction, the context of the buyers and sellers in the auction here. and they were moving it then, and they wanted to move it, and they did. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to YouTube. Yeah, Justin. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Keep an eye out, on your order flow and your levels here. Let's go back to our higher time frame levels here. Okay, so uh, you can even see it on the hourly chart. There are a few wicks in there, and we're looking for a little bit higher. I thought we'd probably get up here around maybe 50 or so. And the wick up here, we didn't. We came up to where it kind of dropped from here. You can see a move up. It failed. Sellers come in, and here we are down to this level here, where there's some buying wicks down here, and a huge rejection wick here. Okay, so yeah, well, let's see if sellers can take it a little further down. I'm sorry, guys. This is off. We're still looking at the wrong higher time frame contract here. I need to switch it over. Okay, but somewhere down into where these areas are down here is what all I can refer to, and that would be somewhere down in here. Okay, so around this kind of 85 on up to about here, maybe 95 or so. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty, you can see it reject out of there. Here come the buyers here, and then more up here. All right. Yeah. So strength of volume. We'll end it up here, guys, and hand it over to Tom B. He'll be for you YouTubers. Tom B is in. He'll be YouTubing here pretty soon. He is over in the Discord chat room at the moment. Okay, we'll have Tom over in YouTube shortly. Okay, so and he'll get started here in just a few minutes. It's excellent stuff. Highly recommend it, you guys. Tom goes over a lot of really great stuff in there, and he's in there, well, like 4.5 hours. Tom, I don't know how you do it, but yeah, Tom trades volume profile, and you guys can learn a lot from him. He's got a lot of experience. Yeah, Tom is a machine. Absolutely, 2 spoons. Let's see, Alan, the strength on the volume in a high liquidity level. Yeah, I mean, so it's context. It's always the context of these 3 things in Bookmap. Okay, number 1 is the price structure, which is really helpful. And insightful. You have to understand price structure. This is why our education starts off very simply with understanding basic market mechanics, and because that's what moves the market. And then we extrapolate that to exactly this here. Look, sellers moving the market here, right? Now, buyers moving the market over here, okay, and in here. That is no different than if we zoom in here and look at this little area and microstructure and basic market mechanics. Let's just go over the basics here. Okay. Well, the sellers here, I don't see buyers up here. All right, so sellers ought to hit into 95. Okay, now there's more sellers. They should be able to take it a little bit lower here, maybe 93.5. I don't see buyers here. Right, they're making a new structure. This is sideways consolidation. This is another one. Let's see, do we get sellers down here? A little bit of both. Okay, we need to get sellers down here. Okay, then we'll trade into 95.5 and 93. Okay, now what if we get the scenario of buyers back up into this area where it exhausted out? See all these little wicks up here? This is just best offer. There's no one buying here. What if we get buyers up here at 95.5 or 90? There they are. All right, so they ought to carry it on up to here, 97, 97.5, top of the range or point of control of this area. This is no different. We're just going through it at lightning speed here. This is no different. Reading this, understanding this is no different than reading this consolidation and this breakout. Okay, let's zoom back in here. Okay, let's understand it also. It's just not structure and volume. Okay, it's liquidity as well. Right, this liquidity got filled here. Okay, we went a little bit lower here. Where is the liquidity on the offer? Where might these buyers start to target? Okay, well, I mean, this algo here is not a target. We're looking for, you know, something more. Maybe someone up in here, this kind of 02 or 01 area here. Okay, or maybe like sellers rotate in and go for this 90 liquidity down here, 41.90. Okay, makes sense, guys. I mean, we go through this every day, you know, this is exactly what we're reading. We're extrapolating. Go back and watch our educational course. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is what moves the market right here. Sellers are moving the market. Okay, what is the relationship, the context in this structure of buyers and sellers? Okay, we noted there weren't buyers in here. I don't remember exactly where we were. We still didn't get buyers up here. Great. Okay, more sellers here. They should be able to break it. Okay, and then we're looking for, yeah, are they going to be able to take it down further? No, we're starting to get buyers. What if we get buyers up here? And then it all of a sudden shot up here, and then we got them. All right, great. High volume node is probably here, went right to it. Okay, and it went above it. There's still more buying pressure in here. Okay, so we get continuation here. More buying. See the buying up here at higher levels in here. Okay, there's a little bit of selling down here. The buyers come in again here. Okay, looking for this high. Here we got our liquidity in here. They're staying in the order book here, looking for this to transact. Okay, so now we have the context of three things here, and they're all important. It's what makes up the market. Number one is the best bid and offer, creating a structure here. Number two is the volume within that structure. Gives us a tremendous amount of insight. Like in this structure here, we have a bias to the downside. Okay, look at the buyers up here, none. Okay, in the middle here, well, that doesn't really count. It's kind of value area for a very short time frame. In this area here, though, you're starting to see the sellers come in. Great, boom, they should be able to drop it. They did. Okay, and then we went through the scenario where they might be upended. Okay, so we're talking about volume and structure. Okay, now if we also bring in the order book, volume and structure and supply and demand, where are they? Where do they want to trade? Okay, and then in here, well, this is where they want to trade. This is where those buyers can meet sellers. Okay, this completes the transaction. You need buyers and sellers. All right, so anyway, guys, we can go over that education all day long. All day long. We used to kind of at more micro time seconds like that, but you know, we want to zoom out and get a kind of, it's the same ideas on higher time frames here. That's it. So now we have that understanding. Okay, so this drop here, okay, and this move back to it, well, scenario is, okay, well, what if we get buyers back up above this area here? Well, they're going to move it back up and likely back up into some of these previous areas where sellers dropped it, or where there's liquidity, or if you're a VWAP trader, you know, high volume nodes, whatever kind of trader you are. This is nice here. This is where you can use Bookmap to your advantage and get an edge. Your volume, high volume nodes up here, there's liquidity here at 42.10. They're already lined up. Mix and match these together. That's when you really have an edge. Okay, develop an edge in here. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you liked it, please click like in our YouTube channel and subscribe. We do these webinars daily, every day of the week here at 10 o'clock East Coast time. Yeah, happy to do them for you and answer your questions. Thanks for coming, everybody.